What's up, family? Let me get situated real quick. We got to get into this because my boy Chef is on fire. My man then lost his mind when it comes to this. Let's get my shit situated. Let's go. Let's go. Let me do this. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. This is your boy. This is Daniel Haru, and I had to get in. I had to do this because my boy Chef is on here, going in, entertaining, and one of the things that I wanted to get at was how he was saying about the word Kemet, and I think he's totally misrepresenting what Reggie says, what Smash says, what Asar Khan says, what Misuse says. I think he's totally misrepresenting it. He's overgeneralizing the whole thing, simplifying it to a point where it's to the ridiculousness. And the thing of it is that when you got somebody who's just now starting, apparently just like me, right? Somebody who's just starting to get in and look at the metaneta, look at the hieroglyphs, you know what I'm saying, and you know, he's trying to teach it as if you know it. So you do all the shortcuts that you can to get there. One of the shortcuts that you do is you started looking at like Chat GPT as one of your main sources of trying to place your argument, and then you go in there trying to debunk people who have way more knowledge than you. I mean, a lot more. And then you totally just mess up the information. One second. Let me do this. Just mess up the information. Do this real quick. And that's my only, my issue with what was going on is that it just seemed like a total, of what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about Kemet. He even go to, and I'll play some of his clips. He goes to a dictionary and he's talking about single words, right? And he says, well, what this word means in the dictionary. Now, he was like, we need to go to ancient Kemet and we need to find this dictionary and we need to do all these other things. That's just a ludicrous statement because no one had dictionaries back then. No one. I don't think nobody bothered to, try to get a dictionary and put it together. I mean, that was later. That was much later on when those dictionaries happened. And so he talks about he isolate words, he uses them without context. He doesn't pay attention to any of the grammatic rules. He doesn't know the language, can't speak the language, and yet and still he's trying to tell Reggie, unless I'm missing something. I've never seen Reggie misrepresent anything when it comes to the language. Now, not everybody agrees, but they pretty much have a consensus amongst themselves of what is what. Like the basic stuff, like what is a determinative, right? What is a verb? What is a noun? How it's used? What this could mean? And I don't see that with what he's doing. Just a couple more. Just sending this out. All right. Okay. So let's go over some of his stuff real quick, and then we'll get into it. All right. Okay. So let's go over some of his stuff real quick, and then we'll get into it. All right. So let's hear what Chef says. You can say, how do we get caught in the crosshair? Now, when he starts talking about ChatGPT, once again, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT. Absolutely, positively, nothing wrong with using ChatGPT. My only thing is that without studying, without reading, without researching, without doing those things that you need to do, right? That you need to be well versed in it, then you know what I'm saying. It's lazy. It's just cheating. You can't go up against somebody because you saw a little something on a paper or ChatGPT said something and you want to say somehow that they're wrong. ChatGPT can be debunked. It can be corrected on the spot. After Smash did it, I've done it. I did it today. Asking him about Kemet off of an old discussion that Zion Lex and Jabari had. Asking ChatGPT what was the oldest civilization, and then it corrected itself. It gets its information from people, from information that's already out there. This ChatGPT doesn't do research. It just has the information already in a digital base, whatever, the cloud or something, and it just pulls from there. So let's listen and take a look at what Brother Chef saying.
We're gonna go through multiple multiple we're gonna go through multiple sources, right? The first one we're gonna go through PhD, right? Boris Djokovic, right? PhD. In his Dictionary of Middle Egyptian. Let's go to it.
Now he pulling out all the stops. He pulling out all the stops, right? With the dictionaries, right?
Boom. Load that up. We go down to chems.
Okay. We going down to chems.
All right. Y'all with me?
Now he's going to say this, but if you look right here at the bottom, right? Hold on. Let me. Right here at the bottom, he is going to say Kim, right? KM. It says black, right? And it has the crocodile tail, and it has the papyrus right there, and it says black, right? That's what it means. Right here you see, I think it's a hieroglyph right here. It just means black. And now, what he didn't tell you is that this crocodile tail by itself represents Kim, and it also means black. It's right here as well. It's 1098.
All right, first one. Y'all see it? It says what? Kim, KM. That's the crocodile scale or the burnt piece of wood, the owl, and the lock of hair, right? A truss of hair. And it says that it means black. See, it says Kim Black. First word, black, y'all. So, Assad, I'm not even gonna get into that right now. So y'all see that Kim means black. All right, y'all see that. Now, go right under that, you have Kemet, the KMT. Now, that's the crocodile scale, a piece of crocodile skin, or the burnt charcoal, a piece of burnt wood, the owl, the half a loaf of bread, which is the half a circle, and the circle with the X in it. And they says that is Kemet. All right, it's a noun, right? Word classification. It's a noun, and it's a location. See that LOC? Location. And what does it say the meaning of that word is? The black land, Egypt. The black land. Not the land of the black people. It says the black land. All right? So, it is not me that is wrong. It's the Egyptologists and the experts. Okay? Now, go down to the next one. It's the
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. Now this is what makes it bad, is because he doesn't know the language, because he hasn't studied this at all. Apparently he hasn't been watching Reggie, he hasn't been watching Waju, he hasn't been watching Smash, he hasn't been watching Sa Ka. He went past this when he went to Kim, right? Kim, the crocodile tail, gives the Kim sound, the Kim. The owl gives the M sound. So it's I forgot. It's like it's a double. It's a double sound. So you don't have to repeat the M, the owl, because the crocodile tail already says Kim. So you don't need to pronounce that. It's a double complement. Then you have the bread loaf, which is the T, right? And those three sounds, and you don't need the owl. You don't need the owl for it to say Kemet, but we have it there. What he failed to tell you was the newt sign at the bottom, which means and signifies land. The black land, because of this newt symbol, which is right here. Hold on, let me blow this up real quick. I'm just gonna blow it up just so you can see it, right? This newt symbol right here. Where's my curse? My curse is not showing. I should have been showing. So that newt symbol, which is like that circle with it's the circle with the little cross on it. Let me see if I can do this right here. Capture cursor. Okay, we'll go here. I don't know why it's not showing. But anyway, it's that circle with the little crossroad. That signifies town. It's part of a land or location, a glyph. It's a determinative. It tells you what it's talking about. That's why it says the black. And then you have the newt glyph, which signifies land. But he skipped over that. I'm gonna play a little bit more. Let's see where he goes with this. Let's just back this up. So, okay, we'll back this up a little bit right there. Let's back that up a little bit. Okay, let's see where he goes with this.
It's the piece of crocodile scale or the burnt piece of wood, half a loaf of bread, or the half a circle, a seated man, a seated woman. Y'all see that? Mm-hmm. A seated man, a seated woman, and 3 lines under them. All right? And what does it say, that word? It still has the same 3 consonants, the KMT, Kemet, right? And it says that word means what? Egyptians. Not black people. What does this dictionary say that word means?
So, once again, he went in here, Kemet, right? Kemet stands exactly what he said. But when you do not have a grasp of the language, you make mistakes like that, right? You just do. You make mistakes like that. So we're gonna let Chef make that mistake. Okay, let's do this right here. Let's get back over here. Okay, let's go over here, right there. Okay, so let me go over here. So first of all, right, it means people, like he said. So right here, this is Selden's 2023 hieroglyph Egyptian, right here, right? And right here, just so you know, the main Semitic determinatives. These are determinatives, right? So the determinatives mean something, right? It tells you about the strokes, and then we're going to talk about the determinatives, right? The seated man is this right here is a man, a person, also used after a man's personal name, the seated man. That's what that means. So whenever you see that seated man behind some glyphs, you know they're talking about a person. They're talking about a man, right? But here you have a seated woman, right? You have a seated woman. That is also used after a woman's personal name, called the seated woman. So you know who they're talking about. So if you saw Kemet and you saw just a single man or woman, you know that there's something coming behind this says black, that person, something like that, right? Here is the glyph, the same glyph that he used right here. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up, right? Right here. It's the same glyph that he used, right? Do this right here. Right? This is the same exact glyph that he used right here that he's talking about, which is right here. Okay? And it says people has 3 strokes which indicate plurality. That's what it does. He's saying that it says Egyptians. Right? There was no Egypt when this was here. So what is he talking about? They didn't call themselves Egyptians. There was no Egypt. It was a glyph that signified people of that region. It described them. It says black. Now, if there was a cow right here, he would not say that says the black Egyptians, the black livestock. He wouldn't say that. He would say it says black cow. But because they have to fight for it to say that it can't say black people, because we know they didn't call themselves black. We know that Kim means black. That's what we do know. Kim means black. So when they're talking about that, they're talking about black people. Kemet, black people, is black people of that area, that land. They call Kemet because we know that when they start talking about foreigners, I'm all here. It's okay. But we know that when they start talking about foreigners, they did kind of the same thing, right? We know this. So let me shrink this back down so I get my man back in here. So I'm kind of all over the place. I just want to get this out. I don't even want to be in here long. I'm about to do another video on this later. So that's what we have when we were talking. Let me cut him off a little bit right there. I just get what he's saying. Okay. So I just want to get this part here. Okay. So we know that it talked about Kemet. Then it says we see another child, young, sitting. We see an old man. We see an official. We see a revered person. Then we see a king. These all mean something. So we don't have to argue with the people who wrote the dictionaries because we know what they're saying, especially Smash and Reggie knows what they're saying. You don't understand what they're saying. You're trying to figure it out, but you're not there yet. You're nowhere near that. So that's what we have when we start talking about the determinatives. Like I said, he doesn't know. So now, if we go here and we go to Kim, right? We know Kim right here. We see the bird, we see the crocodile, and we see here. It says to be black, to be dark. That's what it says. So he wants to let you think that Kim does it just means like black, right? That's all it means. Or it means a land when they're referring to it. But it's not. It's saying to be dark, to be black. If we keep going down, and there's like, several attestations. There's 41, let me see, sentences that we can go to that where it will say Kim, right? There's another glyphs. Let's see if I go here. Right here. Let's go to some more here. That was 6. Okay. Here's Kim. Kim also means Egyptian. So there's one that says Egyptian as well. Kim. Kemet. Here's a glyph right here. And that just means completion. So he's talking about what it means here. Kemet, how they spell it, Km.T. And that's another glyph he was looking at. But it doesn't have the owl. Like I said, you don't need the owl. Which is exactly what Reggie said. Which is exactly what Smash said. Which is exactly what Asar said. That it just means black, irritable. It says black, irritable land. Kemetiu, Egyptians, right? We know that they were talking about Egyptians. We're talking about a place. We're talking about a locale because we have that new glyph there. Right here, Kim Uar. Kim Uar. So I guess Kim Uar would be talking about somebody that's a land or something. But it says Great Black One, Osiris. That's what that means, right? There's another where it says Kemet with the dorsal fin. Pupil, it's right here. Here, once again, when you see people, we're talking about people, a person. So when he's talking about, these glyphs, he doesn't know enough. That's just what it is. He don't know enough. And Chat GPT is not going to be the savior for him. Getting into these dictionaries right now is not going to be your savior. Let's go back into it. Let's see what he's saying.
Kemet in this form means Egyptians, not black people. That's according to the dictionary.
And that's what I'm talking about. You don't know enough. You do not know enough if you don't know what these glyphs mean. It means black. So hold on. So it means Egyptians. Okay. So let's go over here. And Reggie already showed this, which is, I don't know why Reggie has to keep going over with this thing with y'all, because I mean it's just crazy that he would have to do this. There goes source, right? So I'm gonna move myself over here real quick. Let me shrink it down. Right here. Let me go source. Boom. Right here. Right? Now, he said that this means black people. Right? That's what it means. So what does this mean? This is Kemet. This is Kemet. There's your crocodile tail. There's your bread loaf. There's your phallus. And then you see a cow there. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Why does this say black cattle and this right here with the black, with the three people say Egyptians? But we know that there was no Egyptians then. And we know that that right there meant black people. It was saying Kim, meaning people that was black. You can say black like the land. You can say black like Osiris. You can say black like the cattle. It doesn't matter. They associated themselves with a color. That's what they did. You can't get away from it. Right here, black cattle. Right? You would not say, oh, this. I guess this is referring to the land too. These are the mistakes what happen when you don't know the language. You sit there and you get a little information. You try to go with it. You got to learn first. You got to learn. You got to sit back and you got to learn.
This according to the experts. All right? Now, go down. There are other words with the Kim or have those same consonants. Right? Now, remember.
Now, you see right here, it says land. You got Kim. You got Kim. Right? And you got Kim Uar. Kim Uar. Or Kim Uar. It might be pronounced like that, right? And this says Bitter Lakes, right? They're talking about a land. Here's another land glyph right here, right? This is also Kemet. It has a jar here. Now, what this single stroke means is they're talking about a jar, right? But Kemet is black. So it's saying that it's referring to the jar as being black.
The Egyptians didn't write with vowels. The vowels are implied, like in other Afro-Asiatic languages, right? That's a common feature. That's another thing that they fight, Afro-Asiatic, right? Well, ancient Egyptian follow other features of Afro-Asiatic languages, right? That they don't write their vowels. So it is implied that the vowels, the Egyptian readers would know where to put those vowels at. All right?
The vowels were put there because you're right, they didn't have vowels. And the Greeks couldn't pronounce they couldn't pronounce it. So they put vowels to make it more phonetically applicable for you to say, to speak it. That's why they placed the vowels there. No one is fighting that. You don't hear nobody saying that, that's just common knowledge that that's what they do.
All right? So, right there we see that according to this dictionary, this expert, right, that Kemet just meant Egyptians, period. Then we go down to the next one. There's the crocodile skin or the burnt piece of charcoal, the half a loaf of bread, a jar, and one stroke under it. And it says that word means jar. All right?
See, and once again, he's skipping something, right? Because you have multiple strokes and you have strokes that's like the one that's right underneath it, one stroke. that means it's literally whatever it is talking about in front of that glyph. They're talking about a literal jar. That's what that means, right? So he blew past it. Maybe he knew about it, maybe he didn't, but he just blew past it, and I'm gonna take it because he don't know the language. That's the reason why he blew past it like that. But that's a jar.
Now, you have other words in Kemet, right? Other words in Kemet. You have the crocodile skin, right at the top, y'all. I'm at the top. The crocodile skin or the
That's papyri. Go ahead.
What's up, Reggie? Where am I getting these fake definitions from?
I don't know, Reggie. I want to know that too, Reggie.
The burnt piece of wood, the owl, and I guess that's I think Reggie said that glyph is a determinative.
It's a papyrus scroll.
It's a rolled up scroll.
Yeah.
Like a completed book.
Man, I'm telling y'all this. Y'all better not let me. Man, listen, man. Y'all better not let me.
Call me out, Mr. Reggie.
Y'all better not let me get on this hieroglyphs, boy. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be a problem for y'all. Reggie, Smash, and them. They ain't gonna have to deal with y'all part no more. They gonna have to go after bigger fish. I'm telling you. All I need is to free up a little bit more time with Asar, and I'm gonna be right. Asar Chicago get me right.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Right? So, if I'm correct, so that's a crocodile skin or a piece of burnt charcoal, an owl, and that cylinder is a rolled up scroll, like a complete scroll. So that word with the same consonants, KM, it means that determinative on it lets you know that word is talking about to complete something or a total amount to complete, right?
So, based on the last thing he said, I'm going to end it right here. It's getting late. When he would start talking about the Kim, and then he talked about the seated man and seated woman with the 3 strokes underneath, right? He did not mention the determinative of what they mean. He just said it just means Egyptian. But when he saw the scroll, he's like, okay, it means completion. So this determinative means something, right? But it has to refer to what's in front of it. Now, without context of a glyph, you don't know what it means because this is just like single words. You wouldn't know if they were talking about a person. You wouldn't know if they were talking about, a place. You wouldn't know if they were talking about a people. You wouldn't know certain things without any attestations or any sentences that go to it, right? You gotta have, you have to have a complete thought, right? That's just the, rules of grammar. You gotta have content to have context, and you can't change the rules to fit what you want them to do. We know that the determinatives was what was referred to in the beginning. So if we said something was black and then we saw a cow in front of it, we know they're talking about black cows. Just like we saw in the last one when we did the TLA. If it was talking about say the black, and then you had say Osiris, it would says the black one, and then it has Osiris, so we know that we're talking about Osiris as being the black one. There's just certain things that you just can't get past. I'm gonna do another video. This is late. I tried to jump on real quick, because I heard Chef. I was in the chat, trolling. But like I said, without any attestations, dude, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I'm gonna leave it at there. This is your boy Daniel Hayru coming at you, always protecting Egypt, Kemet, as he says. Archers ready. Catch y'all when I catch y'all. See.